Hello everybody and welcome to my video today, which is going to be talking about 5 common myths about India. Firstly, I do apologize that yet again I'm kind of in a laying down position. I'm on my bed. It's because the place where I live at the moment doesn't really have an alternative. I kind of have to lay down for me to be able to make a video. Um, so I'm going to talk about 5 myths about India, common myths. Please bear in mind, I have not traveled around India very much. I only went to the state of Kerala in the far south of India, plus one night in the capital, Delhi. So most of what I talk about are going to be about my experiences in Kerala. I do understand that Kerala does not represent the whole of India. It's an extremely varied and diverse country. But anyway, I was there for 2 weeks and I will talk about my experiences in terms of 5 common myths. So the first myth is India is dirty and smelly. To me, that's a myth, and I'll explain why. Um, well, first of all, obviously India is overly populated, so that alone is going to cause problems in terms of, I don't know, hygiene perhaps, but and the people are generally poor as well, I guess. Maybe not so much in Kerala. I think it's one of India's richer states. And I honestly didn't notice any kind of bad smell really during my whole time in India, even when I was in Delhi, to be quite honest with you. So, in my experience, India certainly doesn't smell dirty. Not not as dirty as I was expecting. If I'm honest, I was expecting to see shit on the streets. That's what I'd heard, and I'm sure you do get that in certain places, but where I was, there was none of that. It was clean enough. I think maybe there was a lack of rubbish bins, which is a bit frustrating. So I was holding on to my rubbish for longer than I wanted to, because there was nowhere to put it. But I don't think India for me was certainly wasn't smelly, and it wasn't particularly dirty. It was, yeah, kind of polluted, I guess. There's so many people there, there's so much traffic, things like that. But no, not dirty and not smelly, to be quite honest with you. So, the next myth is Indian men are sex pests. So this is something that's India has a bad reputation for. The men, especially for single for single women travelers. Um, well, I was there with my wife, so I do understand, of course, if you're a woman traveling there on your own or with a maybe with a female friend, um, your experience may very well be different. Because obviously I was kind of there to protect my wife, kind of thing. But I have to say, my wife didn't experience any sort of harassment or anything of the sort. Um, Nor did I witness Indian men um, harassing other women at all. To me, I again, it's only my experience. I think it's completely overplayed that Indian men are kind of sex pests or anything like that. I'm sure you do get some problems there, like you do anywhere around the world. Maybe more so in India than in other countries. But I'll give you an example. We were at a New Year party. We were on the beach actually in a place called Alape in Kerala, and I was there with my wife, and it was like 99% men, crazy dancing, and it was just crazy. But they all respected my wife. Um, she was like, we were like right in the middle of this crazy dancing thing, and no one touched her or anything of the sort. Um, I do think, if you're if you've got it in your head that Indian men are dangerous, sex pests, then you probably will. You may very well have problems then because you're kind of asking for it. If you've got it stuck there in your head, you probably might attract that sort of problem. But I really don't think it's anything to worry about, especially if you're in my situation. Maybe you're traveling there with your wife, girlfriend, if you're a man, then you've got nothing to worry about. In my experience, even in Delhi. But before we went to Delhi, I was a bit wary. I was like, okay, maybe I need to hold my wife's hand the whole time we're there. But again, it was a perfectly normal place. In my experience, no problem there with the men. So, the next one is Indians are scammers. Yeah, you often get a lot of YouTube videos saying, be careful of the scammers in India, but I completely disagree with that. I don't think they are scammers at all. Um, to me, a scammer is someone who gets like money from you, basically who steals money from you. They offer you some product or some service and you don't actually receive it, kind of thing. So you've been scammed for your money. Maybe you say, um, I don't know, they say they will sell you a mobile phone or something. You give them the money and they run off, something like that. I don't know. Um, to me, that's a scam. I think when you actually look what these so-called scammers are on these YouTube videos that you'll see, it's basically people that are charging higher prices for foreigners. To me, that's not a scam, unless they're charging, 20 times higher kind of thing than what the going rate is. I'll give you an example of when I got scammed, shall we say. We were in Delhi and we got approached by a tuk-tuk driver who wanted to show me he offered to show me the kind of Parliament area, um, and in rupees, I can't remember how much it was now off the top of my head, but in US dollars, it was like $3 or something like that. And I knew I was being ripped off, shall we say, by Indian standards. But for me, $3 is nothing. So yeah, maybe an Indian could have done that for $1. So I'm paying three times more. Um, did I see it as getting scammed? Absolutely not. It was my choice. I agreed with the price. Um, I didn't regret it. We saw a nice parliament and some other place that was all lit up. The driver waited for us. He said, go and explore." And then when we came back, he wanted to take me to another place, to some Sikh temple. He said, "We're gonna have to pay him another $3." I just said, "No, look, we agreed on the price. Just take us back now," because he said it's gonna be like a round trip. Take me back to where we came from, and that's it. And he did. So if that's me being scammed, then I don't care, because for me it was nothing. I agreed to the price. Yes, I paid more than what an Indian would pay. Big deal. So I think when you watch these scamming videos in more detail, that's basically all it is. It's just tuk-tuk drivers trying to get extra money for foreigners, little things like that. But I don't blame them. Foreigners have probably got more money than a lot of the Indians, the local Indians there. So why not? Um, the fourth one: Indians don't eat beef. I think if you ask a lot of people that have never been to India, the first thing they think of is, cows are sacred animals, they don't eat them. Now, in the most part, that is true, but in certain states, they do eat beef. Kerala being one of them. I know Goa, they eat beef as well, and I think there might be a few other places as well. Um, Although I personally didn't eat beef there in India, um, I was it was on the menu because they had beef curry in certain places. Um, so yeah, they do eat beef in certain parts of India for sure. And um, myth number 5 is that Indians are not friendly. So I've often read and sort of seen YouTube videos that say Indians can be quite rude, not always the best people to approach if you need help or advice. I didn't find that at all. I can honestly say we didn't have any problems with anyone whilst we were in India. Um, People were friendly enough. They helped us when we needed help. So yeah, I can't say anything bad about Indian people. Certainly not rude. One example, we were actually in Delhi, um, near that big arch. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Sorry. There's a nice big arch. Is it India Gate or something like that? And there they sell this random stuff, and there was like a girl selling corn on the cob, and my wife wanted to buy one, and we were kind of around that where she was cooking it, and there was like about three Indian men, my friends. We got talking to them, asking where we're from. I actually said I was from Kazakhstan, so that is where I live. It's just easier than saying I'm from the UK but live in Kazakhstan. My wife's Kazakh. It's just easier if I just say, yeah, from Kazakhstan. And they were quite interested, meeting people from Kazakhstan. And um, we went to pay this little girl for the corn on the cob that my wife wanted to buy. And the men said, no, 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 we've already paid for you. It was a real shock. I know, it was like a really small gesture. It wasn't expensive, of course, but it was really nice for them to pay for this corn on the cob. Um, Certainly didn't ask them to, weren't expecting it, and they were just really nice. We're like, welcome to our country, where we're really happy to see you here. So I thought it was really nice. It's just the small things, isn't it? Sometimes that just make a big difference. So yeah, that's my experience of India. My 5 myths about India. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I've kept it as short as possible. Next week's video is going to be about my experience in India as a whole, and you're actually going to be surprised because I've just talked about these 5 myths, kind of positive things about India. But actually, you'll see next week my video was naturally going to be overly positive about my whole experience in India. So stay tuned for that next week. Thank you for watching. And subscribe if you haven't already, by the way. We've only got 23 subscribers. It's not enough. I want 24 and a half by the end of 2020. Come on, subscribe.